Security, which is affiliated with New York University, where I teach at the law school, this really goes to the question you asked Ian, which is sort of what can be done. And one thing that can be done is to get people to really focus on what does it mean? What will it actually look like? Obviously, you can look at Trump 1.0 and you can think about it. But if you want to really focus on this idea of like, oh, is it really the lesser of two evils? Won't it really be the same? Isn't Joe Biden the same as Donald Trump, but just a different degree? Here's just a couple of things. I just wrote up a quick list. This is all on Just Security. You can go, and there's support for each of these, and there's sites, and it's going to be updated with additional sites as more evidence comes in, so people can see what does it mean? What do we know is happening? So here's just to relate it to things that you've been covering: the right to vote, abortion, IVF, contraception, LGBTQIA+ rights, the Department of Justice, whether there'll be a civil service, attacking the free press, whether you and MSNBC
he's talked
and
about
CNN,
taking this network off the air.
Exactly. What tech can do in terms of social media and whether they have to promulgate false narratives. In other words, the disinformation that, with respect to COVID, is something that right now is being litigated with the far right, saying that's not something the government should be able to do, that you should actually have to have that on air, even though it can kill people. Separation of church and state, where the whole idea that which is fundamental to this country is under severe attack. The Supreme Court, not just the Supreme Court in terms of who will sit there, but the issue of like how large it will be, whether there will be packing, whether Donald Trump follows a Netanyahu model and restricts the role of the Supreme Court.
Right.
These are fundamental changes to what it means to be a democracy. Not ending with what Ian said, which is that somebody who is installed, who follows the sort of Erdogan-Putin model, does not leave. So this is something that if you really want to sort of compare what is it we're facing, you can, obviously, as one resource is to go to Just Security and look at the tracker that'll continue to be updated so that you can educate yourself about what it would mean. And then you have to ask yourself, you know what, I may not agree with every single thing that a politician is for, but there's a choice here, and it's stark.